First, I want to talk about the fishability of why these particular boats are good for fishing. This is an Ultimate 14.5 is a particular boat. Any of the Ultimates would apply to this, but this is just the boat I'm talking about right now. We design these boats for fly fishing. So the way we look at it, if you can fly fish out of it, you can do any kind of fishing out of it, because it's real important when you're fly fishing not to have anything that's going to catch your fly line. If you got any kind of, believe me, if there's anything that your fly line can catch on, it will. So we've got a big clean area, what I like to call clean, because there's nothing for your line to catch on. It applies both when you're casting and when you get a fish on. So if you're casting and you don't want your line to catch on anything, because it'll stop your cast, it'll mess up your cast. And you probably, you've been looking for a fish, you see the fish, you cast, and your line catches up. That's a real bummer. So the other thing is, if you're stripping in and you hook a big fish and he takes off, you got to clear your fly line, because if it catches on anything, he's going to break your leader and break off. So that's an even bigger bummer. So the importance is having a clean area in here to strip your fly line. You can make it even better. These foot braces actually pull right off the back of the track. So if you're going to be standing up and fishing for a long time, or fly fishing in an area a long time, you can actually take these off and put them in the back of the boat somewhere, and they're out of your way. The other thing that's real important about the Ultimates is the fact that you can stand up in them. And the reason that we want to be able to stand up is because you're sight fishing. When you're sight fishing, if you can't see the fish, then you can't cast to him. So that's the reason we call it sight fishing. These wells, we got a tunnel hull here. And the importance of the tunnel hull is, when you're standing up in it, it's a lot of reasons for it, but one of the main things is, when you're standing up in it, your feet are down in the wells on each side of the tunnel. So your center of gravity is actually below the water line. Think about it. Your feet are down below the water line. So it lowers your center of gravity, therefore it makes it more stable. You can make anything stable by making it wider, but it's not going to paddle worth a damn. So the lower your center of gravity, the better you are. It's a lot easier to cast fly fishing standing up also than it is sitting down. When you're sitting down, you're so low to the water that a lot of people have trouble with their back cast hitting the water behind them and making an efficient cast. Also, I can turn all around and cast in different directions. So the stability of this boat is real important when you're fly fishing. So this is a poling paddle. It's real important for shallow water fishing. It's got a lot of uses. Number one, this long narrow blade on this end serves more purposes than just paddling. It's got a flat end on the end of it, so it doesn't stick in the bottom and get stuck or sink down in a soft bottom. So it gives you more purchase power. So you're using it mainly for pushing and poling. That's real important too, is where you start with your pushing. You need the end of the pole close to the boat. You push off and you're going to glide a ways. Then you use that blade to steer with. It's like another rudder. So you can steer and control your direction by moving that back and forth. The other important thing is, if you want to stop, say the wind's blowing behind you and you think you see a fish and you want to stop, all you got to do is put the pole right there and stop yourself, and you can even hold yourself in position. If you want to alter your direction in a hurry, you can plant the pole on your hip, put the paddle in the water and pivot around like that, and it actually spins the boat around. It's got a lot of features. The other feature is you can turn it around. I would have that ring back here probably. I could stick the end of the pole through that ring and stake myself out. So there's a lot of features to this. Let's just say you're poling down a flat and you see a fish. Now you put your pole, you just lean down, put your pole in the pole holder, pick up your fly, and now you can make the cast to the fish. It's all that simple. Now we're talking about fly fishing now, and the only reason I'm talking about fly fishing is because, like I said, we actually designed this boat for being able to stand up and fly fish out of it, mainly because if you can fly fish out of it, you should be able to do any kind of fishing out of it. So let's just, one other thing I want to bring up is a lot of people think this is a sit inside, and I'm going to show you a sit on top in a minute and compare the two as far as different fishing situations. But this is a sit inside, and a lot of people don't realize that you can treat it like a sit on top as far as being able to sit side saddle in it. You can hang your legs over the side of this just like you can on a sit on top. In fact, if I was sitting here and casting, now I still got a great place to strip my fly line right in here just like this. I can strip it right in the cockpit. We've talked about fly fishing out of this boat. We've got a lot of accessories to go with it. This bow bag here, this big fish bag, is insulated, so if you do want to keep fish, you can you don't have to unzip the whole thing. The whole thing unzips, but you can unzip just the back part and be able to slide fish in it if you want to keep fish. So you can put ice in it. You don't have to use it as an ice bag. You can use it as storage for gear or whatever. Behind the seat we got a two-sided cooler here that opens up, so one side you can put drinks in it, the other side you can put your food in it, or you can put fish in one side and drinks in the other. So it's separated and it is insulated. Same thing back here. This is separated, it's insulated, so you can put ice in it, or you can just carry gear in there. All of these accessories are interchangeable in these boats. Like this is mainly, I showed you an ice bag, but we can take it out and replace it or exchange it for this tackle bag that'll also fit right there. The tackle bag's got rod holders on it. The inside of it is also insulated, so if you ever needed to use it for a cooler, you could in an emergency, or whatever you want to use it for, but it is designed as a tackle bag. It fits right there. So if you're not fly fishing, and you can carry plug rods along with you if you are fly fishing. So this boat's got so much room that you can actually, a lot of times I'll lay my rod down like that if I'm going through some bushes or whatever, or any kind of under piers or some kind of obstruction. This is another accessory here. I don't have it in there now because I had it rigged for fly fishing. But if you wanted to, this is a dash that just snaps right over this. I'm gonna move the fly rod out of the way. This just fits right under there and actually locks in and fits on top of here. But it gives you a dash that, normally when I'm fishing, I have the rod I'm fishing with laying down here. So there's grooves here to lay your rods in. If you want to have two rods laying there, you could. You can also mount electronics on there, depth finder, GPS, whatever. It's a mounting platform for accessories.